How's it going, you guys, and welcome to your morning cup. Now, have you ever wanted to stay in space, like deep space, deep space in which you're just chilling? Essentially, like in the series Lost in Space. Essentially, a colony that is just out of any particular planet and just voyaging the stars for as long as it possibly can. Have you ever wanted to work in a place wherein you are, well, embarking on the best journey you can ever contemplate? With new people, the likes of which you've only witnessed in celebrity ensembles or, well, pop stars or movie stars coming as your guests at all times. Well, you see, ambitions of people to want to stay amongst the stars is going to come true very, very soon. And talks of the world's first space based hotel are among us. Well, in the year 2019, we heard about the fact that there was a new Braun station that was going to be constructed, that was going to be the world's first space orbital hotel, if you will. Who is this hotel going to be aimed at is still anyone's guess, but what we do understand is the fact that due to COVID, everything got delayed, including this very promising project that was going to, well, offer an opportunity to the likes of the biggest names in the game to experience space firsthand. What we understand today is the fact that no matter how rich you are, the only thing that you can't buy with money is a trip into outer space, is a trip to witness the stars for what they truly offer. But soon, all of that could change. Soon, the world's richest could, well, essentially go into space. Soon, TikTokers would be dancing in space and people would be making reels in space. And as we know it, someone would, well, find something to make space lame as well. But what we understand today is the fact that due to these COVID restrictions, everything is gone. But now it's rolling back in. What I mean by that is this new Braun station that was initially said to be in existence by the year 2026 is now, well, considerably delayed to the year 2027, which is still within threshold but not so much. Also, we are still unsure if this construction project is going to be just far-fetched or is going to actually have some accordance to it. What we understand for a fact for now is the fact that this Braun station, which is now renamed to Voyager Station, it has been renamed because, well, Braun was a Nazi scientist who was very ahead of his time in terms of his designs and his technological advancements. So much so that he was even hired by NASA to head the Apollo program. And, well, we all know how that worked out for the United States with landing the first man on the moon. Now, well, the company that is behind this new hotel initiative did not want an association with a name that was affiliated with Nazis. So they decided to go a different path. And they decided to go with Voyager because they didn't want to taint the name that they already had in place with anything else. Which leads us to this today. Now, in the year 2019, the California-based company called the Gateway Foundation released a plan for a cruise ship design that was essentially going to be cruising in space. Not on the Earth, but in space. Similar to that of a cruise ship, but in space instead. So make of that what you will. Now, if you're wondering how people are going to be just floating around the place, that's not going to be pleasurable. No, that's not true, because the spacecraft that they're going to be constructing is going to be rotating, thereby creating an artificial gravity field, similar to that of numerous designs that we've observed in numerous movies, which actually works for a fact, hence it exists throughout numerous ventures. But the fact of the matter is that this rotating body is going to be creating an artificial gravity field all of its own accord. And then people can walk about freely. People can enjoy numerous amenities in space. Look out the window and see the Earth, if you will, without floating around, without having those adverse effects of your body's bones deteriorating because you were staying in space. You see, that's exactly what happens. When you're in the International Space Station, you are, well, essentially in zero G. Thereby, blood rushes to your brain more than it rushes to your extremities, because your extremities don't require that much of blood to keep them sustained without gravity. And thereby, there is a loss of bone density, which is very bad for you. But if in a hotel where there's artificial gravity that is created and thereby incentivizes you to roam around the place, enjoy it, thereby, well, putting more pressure on your extremities, you can best believe that there will be little to no consequences for you witnessing a place like this, in terms of health, of course. If the whole thing blows up, that's a different issue altogether. Also, radiation, and, well, I'm sure they'll be putting up some radiation shielding and all of that, but prior to which you should also understand the fact that astronauts in space do experience some of the highest dosages of radiation that you can contemplate, more than medical professionals that are working in X-ray rooms. So Make of that what you will. Also, more than nuclear reactor workers. So make of that what you will as well. The von Braun station was initially a design that was put forth that had 24 modules that were connected by elevator shafts, and that were connected all to a rotating wheel that would thereby generate artificial gravity, as we just spoke about. And now the Werner von Braun station has been named to Voyager Station, as we spoke about earlier as well. And now this Voyager Station is set to be built in the year 2026 by a new construction company that is well called Orbital Assembly Corporation, which is head by John Blincow, who was an ex-pilot. So he has a fair deal of experience in terms of handling atmospheric pressures. He was flying most of his life. But does that give him the right amount of guidelines and the right amount of experience to be creating a suborbital hotel? Still anyone's guess. Well, speculation has it that this hotel is going to be created in modules, just like the ISS is created in modules, and then it's going to be lifted into space, possibly with the help of SpaceX, because that is the only company that is currently launching private missions into space in terms of cargo holds. But in order to assemble the hotel in space, you're obviously going to be requiring a crew, a dedicated crew that goes up, just like the ISS had a one module crew that helped put together the rest of the modules and then thereby creating the ginormous ISS that is prevalent today. But there are speculations of what its actual trajectory in relation to the Earth will be. What we also understand is the fact that there is a lot of space debris up there. And if any of this space debris comes in contact with this hotel, you can best believe that it's going to be very bad for the hotel. Because of the sheer kinetic energy that is harbored by these microscopic particles, they can just pierce through any possible compound like a bullet with, well, 10 times the force of a bullet, if you will. This entire concept is set to build the gap between facts and fictions, realities and science fictions, if you will. And what we understand today is the fact that this is obviously going to be comprehended towards the 1%, towards the higher end of the equation when it comes to people who make a lot of money. But according to the suborbital company and according to the people who are behind the Voyager station, they are going to be initially aiming at higher end clientele, of course. Just like Virgin Galactic is offering suborbital tours for upwards of $250,000 a seat, we can best believe that the Voyager station is going to be much more expensive than that, considering that they are, well, allowing you to have a comprehensive stay with a 7-star experience, if you will, if they get 7 stars, that is. But that's still anyone's guess, considering that it's a first of its kind. A venture like this will be highly acclaimed, especially amongst people that are, well, able to afford it. Also, the whole getting there and getting back is still not their ordeal. I believe SpaceX and the Starship program might be involved there, or Virgin Galactic, or Blue Origin. It's still anyone's guess, but the point is that this is a thing that can happen by the year 2027, and they're saying that post which by the year 2030 or 33, they're hoping that they can make it cheaper, like a cruise ticket or a trip to Disneyland for someone who stays abroad. With that, we understand that this is just fantasy blending in with facts, with what was once not possible at all and frowned upon and laughed at, pointed at, and said that's never gonna happen, to, man, it's a very real possibility. And 10 years down the line, you and I might be doing this episode and this series from space someday. Who knows? If it's cheap enough, or if there is a draft system or a lottery system of some sort, you can best believe that if I make it up there, there will be a morning cup from space with the sun behind me. But I should just possibly make it a green screen. I can do that too. Anyway, this has been your morning cup. I'll see you tomorrow.